Hello everyone. In today's class, we're going to discuss about finding the surface area using double integral. Right? Finding surface area of the given surface using double integral. Suppose if you are having a function, let us consider z, which is a function of x and y. So suppose if you are having x-axis and y-axis as well as z-axis, say this is z-axis and this is y-axis and this is, say, this is x-axis. Sorry, just a minute. Let me rub this. Let me redraw. Let me take this as z-axis. This is y-axis, right? This is z-axis. This is y-axis. This is z-axis. This is y-axis. And let us assume this is our x-axis. Okay. This is our x-axis. Fine. Are you getting? Okay. So this height is z-axis and this is y-axis and this is x-axis. And you are having a function z, which is f of xy. That is a curve satisfying certain condition, right? Collection of all those points, right? You call that one as S. So your S is nothing but set of points, order triplet xyz. Order triplet xyz will satisfy certain condition. That is, will satisfy the condition z equal to f of xy. Z equal to f of xy, and as usual in our case, all these are real numbers. That S is represented by this equation. That's it. Right? Then what is the surface? Say this is the graph. See, this is the graph of that z equal to f of xy. Okay, or that surface. Now we have to find the surface area of this surface, and it is given by, right, double integral over a 1 plus dou z by dou x whole square plus dou z by dou y whole square to the power of half dx dy. And what is this a? This a is the region or projection of S on the xy plane. Remember, this is in the xyz plane, this surface. Now, you know that this is our x plane and this is our y plane. Sorry, this is x plane, y plane. So this will be our xy plane. Now let's pull this curve over this plane so that this becomes a curve which is of two-dimensional. Now this is surface, means it will be of 3 dimension here, x, y, z. We are pulling that one over xy region, means xy plane, means your height will be 0. So we are pulling this one to xy plane. That means your height will be 0. So this will have height. Suppose if I take a point here, this will have some height, some length, x-axis length, y-axis length, and z-axis length from origin. But here, when you pull this curve over here, your z will be made as 0. That means simply you will be having x and y coordinates. So if you take any point on this plane, on this curve, it will have x-axis length and y-axis length from origin. So this region we are calling it as A. Right? You find the double integral of this over this region A. That gives you the surface area of this surface. Right? Suppose instead of pulling this curve over xy plane, let us pull this one over yz plane. So simply y and z, If you pull this one over YZ plane, then you're making your x coordinate as 0. Then again it will be two-dimensional. So your A will be region, right, which is the projection of this curve on YZ plane. Then what is the formula for finding the surface area? That will be given by this formula. S equal to double integral over A, right, 1 plus dou x by dou y whole square plus dou x by dou z whole square to the power of half dy dz, right? Next, suppose instead of pulling this surface over YZ plane, let's pull this one over XZ plane, right? When you are pulling over XZ plane, your y coordinate has been made as 0, so that this 3D curve becomes 2D here on XZ plane. On XZ plane, how to find the surface area, right? Your A will be this region. So you find the double integral of this 1 plus dou y by dou x whole square plus 1 plus plus dou y by dou z whole square to the power of half over the region A dx dz. This is how you can find the surface area of the given curve, which is a function in 3D, right? Using this formula. Either you have to pull that one into xy plane, or you have to pull that one into yz plane, or you can pull that one into xz plane. Based on that, you can use any of these three formula and you can find the surface area. Let us see. See, it's very simple. You just imagine a structure in open space, right? Open space. It's been placed, say, in the open space in the room, right? When you pull that, see that any object which is there in the open space will have some x-axis length, y-axis length, z-axis length. I mean, at all the points. If you pull that one on the ground, then your height has been made as 0. Then that object will have only x-axis length and y-axis length. So that is what we are doing here. Now, let us find the surface area of this sphere. So, what is this? This is a sphere with radius 2. That is 4 means 2 square. So, this will be a sphere with radius 2. And the equation of the sphere with center at origin, right? Center at origin, that is x minus 0 whole square. What is the general equation of a sphere? X minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square plus z minus c whole square equal to r square, where a, b, c will be the center. Here, center is 0. Is that right? Now, you can see here, center is 0, right? And radius is 2. See, radius is 2. Here, 2. Here it's very difficult to see it, but radius is 2 here. Okay, so it's been a sphere with radius 2. Now we need z. So from this, what is your z? So we are having x square plus y square plus z square equal to 2 square, or that implies z square equal to 4 minus of x square plus y square. Okay, we have to multiply this by minus sign, but I have kept as it is because in future we are going to use polar coordinates. Now let's partially differentiate, because we need, see, if you want to use this formula for finding the surface area, then we need dou z by dou x and dou z by dou y. So let us find out them. Dou z by dou x. So partially differentiate z with respect to x. So when because your z is a function of x and y, we can differentiate this by assuming this one as x. So what is the derivative of x square? 2x. By that way, what is the derivative of z square? 2z. Then forget this power. What is the derivative of z? It is with respect to x, means dou z by dou x. because it contains y also. So you have to use partial derivative. Dou z by dou x equal to, now derivative of 4 is 0 minus derivative of x square is 2x and derivative of y square is 0 because you are differentiating with respect to x. Now 2 cancels. Send this z to this side. You'll get minus x by z is your dou z by dou x. Similarly, what is the derivative of this with respect to y? Again, it is of the form y square. So what is the derivative of this? 2 into z. Forget the power. What is the derivative of z with respect to y? Dou z by dou y. Because when y changes, your z also changes. That is what the meaning of this. Rate of change of z with respect to y is equal to derivative of 4 is 0 minus derivative of x square is 0. Derivative of y square is 2y. So minus 2y. 2 cancels. Send this z to this side. You'll get dou z by dou y, not x. Dou z by dou y will be equal to minus y by z. Right? Now substitute that in this. Right? So that will be easy for finding the surface area. So 1 plus dou z by dou x whole square plus dou z by dou y whole square equal to 1 plus, what is your dou z by dou x? Minus x by z. Substitute it. What is your dou z by dou y? Minus y by z whole square. Substitute it. So you'll get x square by z square, y square by z square. Take LCM. You'll get z square is the LCM. Then z square into 1 z square plus x square plus y square. But we know that, right? You have to substitute back what you are having from these equations 1 and 2. What is your x square plus y square plus z square? It is 2 square or 4. And what is your z square? It is 4 minus x square plus y square. Right? You should not keep in terms of z here because we are going to pull this sphere in either xy plane or yz plane or xz plane. So here I am pulling this one over xy plane. That's why I'm making z coordinate as 0. So if I have to, then I have to remove the variable z. I should not keep the variable z. So that's the reason I'm substituting z from these equations. So your x square plus y square plus z square is 4 divided by z square is this. Now, remember, here we need to find the surface area of this sphere. Am I right? So, we see, let's do one thing. Let us make this height as 0. Right? So, here, above this, from 0 to here, it is plus 2. Below this, it is from 0 to minus 2. Right? Here it is minus 2, here it is plus 2. So from origin, your height is taking the values 0 to 2 and 0 to minus 2. Right? So we have to find the surface area of all of this. Let's do one thing. Right? See, let us split this sphere into two halves. One above 0 for z and the other one below 0 for z. Right? Since the radius is same, this surface area is same as this surface area. This surface area, see, this surface area will be same as this surface area. So let us do one thing. Let us assume that, right, the surface area of this curve or this, both are one and the same, is twice the surface area of the half of this. So I can say surface area is equal to twice of this. Right? Twice of this upper half. Twice of this upper half. That's why 2 is coming here in the formula. Right? In our regular formula, we don't have 2 here. But here we are writing 2 because we can find the area, surface area for upper half. The same will be for lower half. So upper half surface area plus lower half is twice of the surface area. That is the reason. So that is the reason we are getting 2 here. Okay. Now you forget about the lower half. Now let us pull this surface area. Pull this surface into xy plane. Right? That means when you make height as 0, when you make height as 0, this becomes a circle. You can see here, this becomes a circle. Circle with center at origin. Circle with center at origin, and this comes on XY plane. This comes on XY plane. That means when Z is 0, you'll get x square plus y square equal to 4. Right? X square plus y square equal to 4. So you are getting a circle here. When the circle comes, we know that we can use polar coordinates to evaluate it. Right? So, and remember, over this circle, see, the circle can be partitioned across the coordinate lines into 4 regions. And note that the area, because radius is same here, it is from 0 to 2, it is from 0 to 2, it is from 0 to 2 here, it is from 0 to 2 here. Only thing you are having negative sign here, but length is 2 only, radius. So radius varies from 0 to 2 in all the region. Only theta varies. Theta varies from 0 to 2 pi here. Instead of that, but you know that area is one and the same, because here your radius is 2 and the angle between these two is 90 degree. Similarly, here radius is 2 and angle between these two is 90 degree. Area is 2 and angle between these two is 90 degree. Area between these two is, right, radius with 0 to 2 and angle 0 to 90 degree only. So all these areas are one and the same. Therefore, instead of finding for whole of this region, it's enough to find for this, and the same area will be for this also, for this also, and for this also, and for this also. So instead of saying, instead of taking theta from 0 to 2 pi, I can say theta varies from 0 to pi by 2, and 4 times of that area will be the total area, isn't it? So this area 1 time plus this area 2 times, this area 3 times, 4 times. So that is how we are going to evaluate this, right? Now substitute what is your 1 plus dou z by dou x whole square plus dou z by dou y whole square. We have found that one, that is 4 by 4 minus x square plus y square. Substitute it to the power of half. So 4 to the power of half is 2. So 2 into 2 becomes 4. 4 minus x square plus y square whole to the power of half will come. But remember, we have pulled our sphere into region A, where region A is given by the circle x square plus y square equal to 4. Okay, x square plus y square equal to 4. Now put x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. Then dx dy is given by r dr d theta. That we know from our earlier discussions. You know how to change the variables from Cartesian to polar. When you substitute x equal to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta by the Jacobian, you're going to say dx dy is r dr d theta. And from this picture, as I said, we are going to find the area for only this region. So that gives you the region of this. Same thing is the area of this and this as well as that. So 4 times of this will give you the answer. So let's do one thing. Let us multiply the area by 4 times. So this is your surface area. So let us multiply this by 4 times. 4 times of this gives you total area. Okay. Now, here theta varies from where to where? 0 to pi by 2. As I said, theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. And your radius starts from 0 to, at the most, till where it can go? At the most to 2. So theta varies, radius varies from 0 to 2. That you can find from here. See, what is your x? R cos theta. What is your y? R sin theta. What is your x square plus y square? It is r square always, you know. So if it is r square, what is your r? 2. So that is the reason r varies from 0 to 2. R varies from 0 to 2. You can find radius. See, initially radius will be 0 in this case, right? and up to where it can go up to 2 from this equation. Now with this we can find the double integral. So 4 into 4 times. Remember why you are taken 4 times? Because only if you take this much instead of 4, that gives you surface area, because we have taken theta equal to 0 to pi by 2 and r varies from 0 to 2, means only this surface area will come. Only surface area over this region will come. What about remaining? That's the reason. The remaining are same. That's why 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. So 4 times we have taken. 4 times the surface area of this. Right? So 4 times. Now send this 4 to the outside. So you'll get 16. And theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. R varies from 0 to 2. 1 by 4 minus. If we take minus as common, this becomes x plus y square. And note that what is your x square plus y square? It is r square. So you'll get r square. So 4 minus r square whole to the power of half. R dr d theta. How are you going to solve this one? By substitution method. Put t equal to some 4 minus r square. Then what is your dt? Derivative of 4 is 0. Derivative of r square is 2r with minus sign. So minus 2r dr. But we need a r dr. Here you are having r dr. So that will be dt by minus 2. And you have to change the limit for r also. When r is 0, what is your t? 4. When r is 2, so if you put r equal to 2 here, you will get 2 square, 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So your t will be 0. So your new limit will be 16 times theta varies from 0 to pi by 2. T varies from, when r is 0, t is 4. When r is 2, t is 0. So you'll get 0. And 1 by 4 minus r square is t. So t to the power of half into dt. R dr is dt by minus 2 into d theta. Now minus 1 by 2 comes out. So you'll get 16 by minus 2, which is minus 8. And if you send t to the power of half to numerator, that becomes t to the power of minus half dt d theta. Now we can easily integrate this with respect to t. So that is t to the power of minus half plus 1 by minus half plus 1. And the limit is from 4 to 0. Minus half plus 1 is half. So if you send half to numerator, that becomes 2. So 2 into minus 8 is minus 16. T to the power of half will come. Apply the limit. You'll get 0 to the power of half is 0. 4 to the power of half, that is square root of 4, is 2. So 2 into minus 16 is 32, because minus into minus becomes plus 32. And integral theta varies from 0 to pi by 2, d theta is left. That means you have to integrate 1 with respect to theta. And integral of 1 is theta, because it is with respect to theta. And limit is from 0 to pi by 2. Apply the upper limit. You'll get 32 into pi by 2 minus 0. Simplify it, you'll get 16 pi. So what is the, very simple, what is the radius here? 2 square, isn't it? Yeah, you need to remember that. Now you're having a formula. What is the surface area of a sphere? Sphere with radius r and center at origin. It is given by 4 pi r square generally, isn't it? Now here radius is what? Radius is 2, isn't it? 2 square. Radius is 2. So 2 square means 4. 4 into 4, 16. 16 pi. That is what the surface area.